Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling online ordering for restaurants. We've got screenshots, marketing stuff, reports, you name it, all about making that online ordering system really work for you.
Yeah, it's not just about having online ordering these days, is it? It's got to be strategic.
Totally.
Right.
Like having one of those fancy espresso machines. Sure, you can just make basic coffee, but why not? Like lattes, cappuccinos. We're here to unlock the full potential, right? Show everyone how to get the most out of it.
And a good system's key. We're looking at Rezku today.
And, first thing I'm seeing, this interface is clean. It's so user-friendly. Everything's in these clear tabs, order types, delivery settings, even QR code ordering at the tables. It's all there.
It's very intuitive, yeah.
Yep.
Even just simple toggles for enabling gift cards or coupons. I mean, that's a no-brainer for boosting sales, isn't it?
Absolutely. But it's the customization that I find really interesting. Take that custom URL option. Instead of some generic link, with a jumble of numbers, Rezku lets you make it something memorable. Order.rezku.com/bestpizzaever. That kind of thing.
Oh, I see. So instead of telling someone, just look up our restaurant online, it's head to your catchy, easy-to-remember URL. Way easier to remember and use.
Exactly. Make it seamless for the customer, right? That memorable URL is part of your branding, too. Makes it that much easier for people to find you and order.
Speaking of branding, I'm seeing all these options to customize the look of the online ordering, too. Add your logo, a splash page image, make it scream your restaurant, even pick the fonts. You gotta keep that brand identity strong from the moment someone lands on the page.
Oh, for sure. Consistency is key.
Although I gotta say, this default icon, the generic pizza slice, made me chuckle a little.
Yeah. But it proves a point. Imagine you're the customer, browsing for dinner. Are you drawn to the bland, generic site? Or the one that just feels like an extension of the restaurant, its own personality?
Okay, good point. It's about standing out, making that good first impression online, just like you would walking into the actual restaurant. Okay, but let's get into the data side of things.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really interesting. I'm not talking boring spreadsheets. I mean the data that helps you make smart decisions for your restaurant.
Right, the insights you can get.
Yeah.
Rezku's got a whole bunch of reports
Oh, yeah?
that can really give you some serious insights, yeah.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Sales by category,
Okay.
labor, ingredient usage, you name it, there's a report for it.
There's that sales exceptions report, too?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's got to be useful.
Absolutely.
If you're seeing anything weird happening.
It is. It can help you uncover those little oddities in your sales data.
Yeah.
And that's really just the beginning.
Okay.
Imagine, using this data to pinpoint your peak ordering times.
Okay, yeah.
Staff up accordingly.
Smart.
Or how about this? Identify menu items that are consistently selling out.
Okay.
Adjust your inventory.
Okay.
Maybe add it as a permanent thing.
It's funny you should mention that.
Yeah.
I have a friend, he owns a pizzeria. He was always complaining he never knew when to staff up
Right.
because he couldn't predict how many orders he'd get.
Yeah.
If he had this sales by hour report, he'd know.
Exactly. He'd be able to see, okay, this is when it's really busy. This is when we can maybe get away with one or two people.
Totally.
Data can be your best friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to maximizing efficiency and profitability.
For sure.
So let's say you're
Okay.
curious about the profitability of late night orders.
Okay.
You can use the sales by hour report to see, okay, how much revenue am I actually generating during those late night hours?
Right.
And then you compare that to your staffing costs, potential food waste.
Yeah. Could be a gold mine. Could be losing you money.
Exactly. You never know until you analyze the data.
I see there's a discounted products report.
Oh, yeah?
I bet you could see which staff members are the most generous with the discounts.
Well, let's hope everyone's using those responsibly.
Right.
But on a more serious note,
Yeah.
this report can help identify any potential misuse of discounts
Right.
or highlight any really popular promotions that are really driving sales.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about using that data to make smart decisions,
Absolutely.
from pricing to staffing to promotions.
And speaking of decisions,
Yeah.
let's talk about payment disputes,
Oh, boy.
which can be a real headache for restaurants,
Yeah, huge.
especially now with online ordering. So many card-not-present transactions.
Yeah.
Big problem.
Big problem. But Rezku, they have this whole section dedicated to it,
Oh, good.
which I love.
They break it down for you?
You do.
Tell you what to do?
It explains the different types of disputes, like chargebacks,
Yeah.
and even offers some advice on how to prevent them in the first place.
Speaking of chargebacks, I actually had this thing happen once. at a coffee shop got double charged. It wasn't even that much money, but man, the hassle to get it sorted out.
Tell me about it. And for restaurants, it's not just the amount, right?
Yeah.
You've got fees sometimes for the payment processors, penalties.
Makes sense they'd want to avoid it as much as possible.
And too many. Could even hurt your standing with those processors, But good news is there are things you can do to minimize that risk.
I see Rezku mentions a couple here. Address verification service, CVV code requirement. I've heard of those, but a little reminder never hurts.
Exactly. So ADS, that's address verification service, it's basically checking, does the billing address the customer put in match what the card company has on file?
Yeah.
Flags anything potentially fishy right away.
And the CVV.
Those 3 or 4 digits in the back of the card.
Right, of course.
Adds that extra layer of security, making sure whoever's placing the order actually has the card.
Small details, but they make a big difference in the long run. Well, we have covered a lot today, from how easy it is to use these systems to the data you get, even avoiding those chargeback nightmares. It's more than just a convenience for customers now, isn't it?
It's a whole ecosystem. And honestly, I think the coolest stuff is yet to come.
Wow. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive, I gotta say. Thanks for joining me.
My pleasure. Always happy to talk shop.
And for everyone listening, be sure to check back next time. We'll be diving into technologies changing the game for restaurants.